What feeling or emotion or sense of being am I seeking from this thing that I want? And when you know what that is, you can start to play with how that would feel in your body. Because the number one thing around manifestation is the feeling. It's being in the energy, it's being an energetic match for the thing that you want. These are the 3 steps that I would focus on if you wanted to manifest more this month in November 2024. Hello everybody, my name is Lucy Superfox and welcome back to my podcast. So in this week's episode, we are going to be talking about 11/11 and why it is such a magnificent date, why it is a day where if you really dig in and focus on what you want, you can manifest pretty much anything, and why I am so passionate on a personal level. So in this week's episode, we are going to be diving into the mastering manifestation and the magic of 11/11. So let's dive right in. So hello everybody, welcome to this week's podcast. I am at home again. I would love to be back in the studio. The studio is literally jam-packed and I'm trying to coordinate these dates with guests. But I am so excited for you to meet the guests you've got coming up towards the end of this year. But for this week and next week, we're going to be focused on manifesting and talking about money. These are 2 massively favorite topics of mine. And the reason is I truly believe if we talked about money more, people would have more money. But we live in such a narrative of shame and lack and fear that we often don't allow ourselves to speak openly and freely about money. And if I'm totally honest, one of the things that set me free in my financial experience was willing to be honest about where I really was with the people around me in life, and actually to be honest and open about my true desires. So first of all, let's dive in today to kind of 11/11. Now, I am no numerologist. I am not, your spiritual guru, but I am somebody who absorbs a lot of this information, who loves this information. And so I've dissected a lot of what the 11/11 portal can mean, what the numerology of 1 means, to really share with you and give you some guidance and support today in terms of how you can really use this day to your advantage. And then I want to dive into some of the topics around some of the kind of the hot notes, some of the points that I just think are magic when it comes to manifestation, and why today can be a really, really powerful portal for that on 11/11. So the number of 1. So 11/11 is 1111, right? So actually it adds up to 4, which is a different kind of energy. But if we focus on each of the numbers 1, now I am actually a life path 11 as well, which is interesting. If you don't know what your life path number is, you can literally Google it and work it out. There's loads of free calculators. I'll put a free resource below in the show notes. And when I understood what a life path really meant, and that there are destined elements of your life that come from your life path depending on your life path number, which is all subject to the date you were born. Now I'm a life path 11, so anything with a 1-1 in blows my freaking mind. And here's a fun story for you around 11/11. So 11/11 2018 rocks around, and I was working as a presenter. So I've done quite a lot of presenting work over the years, and I was working as a presenter at a fitness event, and I met my now husband. Now we already knew each other, but something happened on that day that was magnetic. And so I share that with you, not for oversharing, but really just to let you know that the magnetism and the power of these portal days, that's what they are. They're magnetic energies on days like 11/11. The last one of these was 8/8 because that was the 888 portal. So that's what you've got on 11/11 is a magnetic day. So on 11/11 2018, I met my partner. 11/11 22, we got engaged. 11/11 23, we got married. It's our first wedding anniversary. 11/11 24, and to the point that we actually got 11/11 tattooed. And that was actually before, ironically, I knew that I was a life path 11. Now in my human design, I'm a generator. So a lot of people are generators, but what's interesting is a lot of my gates came up as 11. So I am a big lover and believer in the energy of 11, and I really tap into it as much as I can. And I am that person that looks for 11/11 and 222 on the clock and 22 on the clock. So just know if that's you, that's me too. And what I always say to people about that is whatever you give meaning to is where it has power. So regardless of what it actually means is actually irrelevant. It's the meaning that we give to it. So when I see 11/11 and I make that mean that I'm being guided, I'm making it mean that I'm creating that energy and creating that feeling. So if you are that person that looks at 11/11 and thinks, oh my God, yes, that gives me meaning, I feel directed, I feel sure, I feel certain, then that's incredible. And if you're listening to this thinking all of this is a load of horse shit, I'm not interested in numerology at all, but you know what, I want to manifest some more magic and I want to manifest some more money, let's get to the point. So the energy of 11, the energy of 1 is a very fast energy. So it's what's called kind of like Aries energy. It's a very kind of like wind. It's a very fast moving energy. So 11/11 could be a day of real, like the winds of change would be a good way to think about it. Now there are 2 kind of really clear clear energies that are coming through around 11:11 for a lot of spiritual teachers that I've kind of disseminated from absorbing all their information. And the two words that came up, which I thought was hilarious, because I've recently done an exercise of kind of just re-clarifying my values in my business, my values personally, and what that looks like. And what's really interesting is the two words that came up around 11:11 in a lot of the information I dissected was authentic and audacious. And my three values for my business are aligned, authentic, and audacious. So all that means is aligned means I'm on purpose, I feel directed, I feel certain, I feel sure, I don't do anything out of integrity. Authentic means, again, I'm integral. I'm a woman of my word, but equally, there's no mask, there's no layers. You get what you get. Like, I'm here talking to you honestly with all the chaos and all the crazy and, me jumping around to 16 subjects because that's who I am. And then audacious, I will talk about things outside of my comfort zone. I will put myself out there on the line, knowing that some people will disagree with me. And actually that I aspire to inspire people to also be audacious in their own lives, because that's where the magic happens. So I thought it was really interesting that the two energies that have come out of a lot of what I've absorbed is that authentic and audacious. And so if you're sat thinking, how can I make the most of 11:11? Then the first energy I would think about is, how can I be my most authentic self? What can I do today to peel away the layers of who I've been that are not actually who I am, or not actually who I want to be, or not how I actually want to feel? The second thing would be, what can I do today that's just that little bit braver? And there's a great speaker, and I'll link her below, that I've heard speak a couple of times now, and she talks about just being 10% braver. So what could you do today to just be 10% braver? And so when we think about these portals and these days, they are a massive opportunity for us to reflect on our current life, reflect on where we are, and then choose intentionally how we move forward and what we step into. And because the energies are very fast, because it's the energy of one, those winds of change, what that means is that if we do make some shifts and decisions on this day, we can see really fast results. And this is why this is a really powerful time to set intentions around what you want to manifest and what you want to create. So the second thing that I've dissected from all the kind of the spiritual elements is this sense of like golden light or divinity, and the 11:11 being a really powerful day for the divinity within you to step forward. The phrase divine child often throws people off a lot, and I found it quite weird when I first heard it, but it's the concept that we're this beautiful, clean, golden, wonderful spirit at our core. It's this kind of golden light, this energy of divinity, this energy of just like things being infused with that magic of divinity and specialness and uniqueness. And we all have this concept of a divine child within us. So we often think of the inner child as the one that's wounded and the one that we need to work through. And I know I work with a lot of clients who know that they have childhood trauma that they need to process, or they come to me with this sense of, a younger version or parts of their self that don't feel good in their current body. But the divine child is actually the concept and the idea that there's this innate divinity in all of us, that the magic of the fact that we were even conceived. And so if you were to imagine almost like the highest, youngest version of yourself, almost like the angel version of yourself, what would that look like? What would that feel like? And what does she need? And the sense that I always get is a happy child playing. And I think that energy of playfulness, that energy that's infused with kind of that fun and that freedom and that light. So if you were to kind of condense all these ideas together and really bring in the fast moving sense of change, this sense of authenticity and big audaciousness, but infused with this energy of playfulness, like think about that as an energy. And to me, that feels just like a really potent, beautiful energy for manifestation, a really beautiful energy to step into, even for a short period of time, to just see what happens. Like I often just say, let's just see. And the reason for that is it's not about being passive or hoping something will happen. Like I controversially say all the time, I think hope is a pointless emotion. What we instead need to step into when it comes to manifestation is stepping out of hoping and wishing and praying and into being, embodying and trusting. Now, that's very difficult with a dysregulated nervous system. It's very difficult with a stressful life. It's very difficult when we're going through stuff. It's very difficult when we don't feel seen, we don't feel heard, we don't feel respected. So this is why I do what I do, right? To help people move through all those things so they can step into the energy of trust, the energy of embodiment, and the energy of knowing rather than hoping and wishing. So if you were to infuse all those energies into what you choose to do and what you choose to manifest, these are the 3 steps that I would focus on if you wanted to manifest more this month in November 2024. And if you listen to this at any time, you can still choose to make this day a magic manifesting moment. So these are the 3 steps I would break down for whatever it is you want to manifest, infusing those energies of audaciousness, authenticity, and playfulness into this next manifestation. So the first tip is I would get mega clear about what it is you want. People are often super vague and say things like, I want more money, I want more time, I want more freedom, I want more love. and aren't really clear about what that actually feels like or looks like. We just have this sense that if we had more, we'd feel different. But the key to manifestation is this word called embodiment. Now, embodiment is feeling into and trusting into the fact that we already have the thing so that we can be a match for the thing. So let me give you an example. If I wanted to manifest more money, very vague, I have a sense then that more money will make me feel a certain way. So what feeling is it that you are seeking from the thing? So if you are feeling a sense of safety or security from money, you then need to be embodying the energy of safety and security. And that's where we trip up, because what happens is we focus on the fact that we don't have the money. So even though we're saying we want more money, we're in the energy of not having the money. So automatically, this is why we don't believe manifestation works, or we've tried it 1,000 times and feel like it just bites us on the ass every single time because of the fact that we're focused on what we want from a place of lack or not having. So first of all, by getting clear on what you want, it's not getting clear on what you want generally, it's getting clear on what you want and why you want it. And when we're clear then on why we want it, we're then able to go, I want it for safety and security, so that we can do step 2. And that is step into the energy of already having it. Now, that feels impossible. Like, I could sit here now and say, I want to be a millionaire. I have no idea what it feels like to be a millionaire. You may have no idea what it feels like to be debt free. You may have no idea what it feels like to be loved. You may have no idea what it feels like to, turn that first 6-figure year, or, get those 10 new clients in your business, or whatever your goals might be. You may have no idea what that feels like, but you will have a sense of what it is that you're craving or seeking. And so digging into this is a really useful question. Like, what is it I'm seeking? What feeling or emotion or sense of being am I seeking from this thing that I want? And when you know what that is, you can start to play with how that would feel in your body. Because the number one thing around manifestation is the feeling. It's being in the energy, it's being an energetic match for the thing that you want. Now, I think we have this concept that positive vibes is how we manifest, that if we're in positive vibes all the time, we'll manifest more. And guys, that's just not the truth. Like, everything has an energetic vibration and it doesn't all live at the top end of the scale. One thing I was talking about with a friend yesterday is that actually I believe that money is a relatively neutral energy, and a lot of manifestations are. It's simply our unattachment to the thing that allows it to come in, because we don't really feel anything at all. And this is why you often attract the same things over and over and over, bad or good, you give it meaning, because of the fact that they just feel expected, they just feel normal. And so when we get clear on how we want to feel and we can step into that, we make something feel normal. And we make something feel normal, we make room for it to come. So number one, we've got clear on what we want and why we want it. Number two, we focused on the feeling, or what would it feel like, or what kind of feeling am I seeking from the desire itself. And number three, unfortunately, you're going to literally want to punch the screen, is trust the process. And there is an element of the fact that we are human beings in a 3D world. And some things that we want require an actual sense of kind of linear time. We need time to pass for things to happen. So a great example of this is weight loss, right? We want to manifest the body of our dreams, but we want it tomorrow. And so we don't trust it's going to happen. I believe in quantum time, but there are also things that take time, like growing a baby, right? If you want to have a baby, that takes 40 weeks gestation. If you want to grow a business, yes, of course you could quantum leap to another income level, but there's an element of it needing time to reach people's social media accounts, as a good example. And so what often happens is we lose ourselves in the process of time. We get attached to how long it's going to take, and we say, it's going to take too long, or hasn't happened yet. And we allow our sense of impatience to take over. And then we actually flip back into the energy of not having it, and round and round and round we go. So as you can see from these 3 steps, it is a big energy game. So if right now you're like, oh my God, Luce, I have tried to manifest 1,000 times, or I always get so far and pull myself back, then I have got a free training for you where I break down not just 3 steps, but 5 amazing steps on the energetics of money. I think most people think money is about saving more, spending less, and not having a credit card, and that's how you get wealthy. And let me tell you, that is not the truth. There is so much more to money than simply what we earn and what we save and what we put on a credit card. Money itself is an energy, and manifesting money can come from anywhere at any time if we are an open channel to receive. And that's what I dive into in the masterclass, The Energetics of Money. And you can get that by going to lucysuperfox.com/money masterclass. And I'm going to put the link below in the show notes for you as well. This masterclass is a game changer. I had 55 people watch it the last time I launched it, and every single one of them messaged me and said, holy fucking shit, this has blown my mind. And it's completely free. Look at that, completely free, because I know that if you knew what I knew, you would trust, feel safe, and have faith in what it meant to manifest more money, and especially on this powerful day of 11/11. So because it is 11/11, because this day means so much to me personally, like I said, it's the day I met my husband, we got engaged, we got married, because I'm a life path 11, because I love the fast moving energy of the one, I have got something very special for all of you, and that is I have actually launched my money course at over 50% off. So you can unlock Money, Master and Manifest, the program, a 5-module program, for less than £111 for 3 months. So 111, of course I was going to do the 111, but 3 months, or you can jump in and get it at full price of £297, and you can literally get it for £297. I mean, game changing. It's worth over 1,200 quid. You can get it for £297, which is even a little bit cheaper if you want to pay in full. So I'm doing this because I just genuinely know, like, I cannot wait to see the testimonials, because I know the energy of today is beautiful and special and magnetic if you decide that it is. And I know that it can be for you too, because it has been for me. It's been the most transformational date for me over the last 6 years. And I know it can do that for you too, if you embody and step into the energy of the new thing that you want. And so you can get the Money Masterclass, lucysuperfox.com/money masterclass, or you can get the money course itself, lucysuperfox.com/money, open until the 24th of the 11th, 2024. So you've got 2 beautiful dates there, 11/11/24 to 24/11/2024. And if you're listening after this date, you can still grab the money course. There's still a payment plan available, but it just will not be my special exclusive price. So I hope this episode resonated. I would love for you to like, subscribe, leave a comment if it landed with you. We landed in the top 45 podcasts in self-improvement last week, which is so exciting. So I would love your comments, love your reviews, love your subscribers, so we can share this message with more people. So that was this episode. My name is Lucy Superfox, and I'll see you on the next one.